happening? Oh my gosh. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? I don't know. No, Leah. Simba, how are you? I just saw Leah go live. What the hell? Gosh dang it. Quite literally, as I'm sitting here, I'm like, no, Leah, no. I'm good. I'm trying to get this stinking tripod to work. I haven't done crime in forever, so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do some crime. Where's Leah? She just went live. I really tried to be mindful of everyone. Oh my gosh. Hi, Chris. Yeah, I quite literally went live. And then as I'm sitting here waiting patiently, it was like, Leah Baudia has gone live. And I was like, Leah, what the hell? What the hell-iante? Detective Miller, hi, Mike. How are you? So if you end up going to Leah's live, please tell her we need to communicate better. Communication is key. So I apologize because I hate doing that to other people. So if any of you have her at tag, not trying to interrupt what she's got going on. And then Fabian has his live later, but I'm trying to remember, he's 2 hours ahead of me, right? So he's doing an 8 p.m. His dance party. So it should only be 7 for him right now. I'm hoping. Because again, I'm not trying to interrupt. This is a last minute, what you call it. So I don't know. But if any of you go see Leah, please tell her I said hi and I love her and I'm sorry. So sorry. You look familiar. Probably. I have a face that looks like everyone else's, I guess. Maybe. But Fools is taking a nap, so I thought I would be productive. TWC Myers, hi! Outlaw, what flavor is this? Is what? This? Well, first of all, sir, it is a salud. And it is Jamaican hibiscus. Thank you. It's hydration and immunity. I was scrolling and I found you. Oh, well, hi. Is it alcohol? No. It's like a... No, it's not alcohol at all. In my water bottle? No. Do I ever do movies? No. The big screen couldn't handle this. You need a hot tub. Well, if you'd like to donate all the money to get a hot tub, well, then I'm gladly gonna get one. Feel free. This channel is monetized, so you can do that. Nikki, how are you? How are you? How are you? Leah went live while I was going live, and now I feel like an ass. So I'm pointing it out, putting it out there. Lennox, you thought that was funny? I think it's funny too. I mean, if you're gonna say dumb things, might as well donate to it. It's hot out. I know. Who wants a hot tub when it's hot outside? It's crazy. It's crazy talk. Anyway, we're gonna talk about crime. Leah said the same. She's like, dang it. Oh man, I feel so bad. Oh man. Yeah, that was not intentional. I was just like, I went on the website, got everything all done, and I went, Leah, really? I made sure no one else was live. And Kirkland water, only the very best. That is right. Make sure you get the big case because it's like $5. I got Gatorade water at Walmart. Nice. Boobs. Yeah, most females have them. I don't know if you know this, but most of us born as females, we have things on our chest. Some people call them different things, but that is, yeah, you're absolutely right. Congratulations. Congratulations. We can tell that you can see. Women has them. Men get them too. Most guys have them. A lot of guys do have them, especially Americans. Trans buy them. Yes, you're absolutely right. Beaver audits, hello. You can, I guess, call them whatever you want. But yes, boobs are a thing. Like I said, some people show them off, some people cover them. It all just depends on who you are as a female, as a lady. I try not to, you know, show them to the world, because that is something I only show to a few, and it's not you. Sorry. Men like them. Some men don't. Some men don't care. Doesn't even matter. It is what it is. But anyway. Well, hi, Julie. How are you? Her shirt. What's wrong with my shirt? Would you mind standing? No. I don't have legs. I can't stand. But thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate it. I'm in a wheelchair. No, I'm not really. But that's fucked up. Why do I need to stand up? You can see me just fine. Anyway, what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about crime. I have a fascination. She lost her legs in Vietnam. Thank you, JFK. I appreciate you. We are going to talk about people. Other channel. Andy, how are you? How are you? We're going to talk about people who unfortunately are a menace to society. Jail and prison. Yes, we are going to talk about unaliving. We are also going to talk potentially about kids that... Thanks, Chris. Hi, Anthony. Okay, I had to switch. They're watching me, obviously. Thank you, Ernest. Phoenix, hello. Criminals. Oh, are they? All right, Billy. Good to know. He did 14 years in prison. That's okay. I'm a menace. You know what? Whoever you were in your past, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. As long as you're a good person today and you're doing better. Should be crazy over here. I'm sure. Ernest, where are you at, if I may ask? I have adult ADHD and autism, but I'm not handicapped, and I'm 21 and a Taurus, and I have OCD, and I'm a guy, and I got a Nirvana shirt from Amazon, and I like it. You told me this last time. I remember that whole thing. West Virginia. West Virginia. Just goes this. Okay, Brian. This is from Rainier Reich. Rickle? Where are them boots? The boots are made for walking. Okay. You can be a president and a felon. You know what? A lot of things can change. I give my life to God, and it's the best decision. You know what, Anthony? That's amazing, because unfortunately, depending on how long you've been in, which you said you were in for quite some time, for most of them, it's a vicious cycle, and it repeats itself. I've never been to jail. Thank the good Lord above. Doesn't mean I shouldn't have been there. Doesn't mean I shouldn't have done jail time. I am far from perfect. I have absolutely done some stupid things in my younger years, and by the grace of God, I got very lucky. I'll just say that. I got very, very lucky. Was I? No, I've never gone to jail. Never been to jail. I have a clean record. I have a beautiful life, but it very well, one little slip up. So, my name is, oh, well, thank you, Cara. I appreciate you. Okay, Anthony dropped this soap on purpose. Everyone that goes into prison gets... Okay, we're going to talk about crime. So we have 23 people here. I've been here for 9 minutes. So we're going to start this. For some of you, this might not be something you want to hear. So what I do is I find news articles, like I said, that are going on currently in the US mostly. And have you ever done Lorena? No, I have not. Would you try jail out for a stream? Absolutely not. No. That's definitely not true. There's a lucky man somewhere. Free bail. No. Why would I want to go to jail? I've been told if I go to jail, I'll probably never come out because I have a big mouth and I might stay longer than I need to. So we're doing everyone a favor, and I'm staying on the straight and narrow. Alligator Alcatraz. I gotta get going. I appreciate you, Phoenix. Yeah, definitely if Dylan is around, I don't want him to hear any of this. So I appreciate you for stopping by as always. Would you eat a bowl of Captain Crunch? No, because they don't have that there. All right, so we're going to get started. Again, these are news articles that are going on in the U.S. currently. I have never went over any of these. I've never read them before. The only reason why I've pulled them up is because the title of the article has caught my eye and it sounds interesting. So, should illegal immigrants be sent to jail? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think they should be punished in that way. There are some illegals that are not great, and we know that. But there are also citizens that are not great. So I don't think being illegal should decipher that. It's my personal opinion. Hulk Hogan died, I know. All right. So trigger warning, this could have assault, unaliving. This one specifically does not have to do with children. So just as a heads up. So the article headline reads, Theo died. I know. Wishes from Dubai. Thank you, thank you. Texas is a trigger. All right. Shoved her overboard. Guess where we're at? We're in Florida. Florida man upset over fishing line snapping, so he, be prepared, stomped on his wife's head and tried unaliving her on the boat. That is the beginning of your first story. A Florida man who was irate over his fishing line snapping allegedly took his anger out on his wife while the two of them were over 30 miles from shore on his boat. Untying a rope the woman was holding as she floated in the ocean and then beating her severely when she kept trying to get back on. I'm going to effing kill you, shouted Douglas, while attempting to do just that as his wife on July 20th said, according to police. The 60-year-old is charged with attempted first-degree murder for allegedly trying to kill the woman who has not been publicly named, while the two of them were on a Sunday morning fishing trip. And I thought this one was interesting since a lot of our community members do fishing. Donald and his wife allegedly set off around 7 a.m. on his 30-foot Sterling center console boat from the dock outside their residence in Holmes Beach. The couple has been married for 3 years and together for 6. On the way to their destination, the victim noticed that the defendant's demeanor seemed off, as he was not as talkative as usual and appeared to be angry. Once they reached their destination, 33 miles off the coast of Bean Point, the defendant started fishing. Hi, Cody. He was casting from a beanbag chair, and he snapped his line and became irate while fishing. Thank you. Thank you, Simba. I appreciate you. His wife decided to get in the water to avoid altercation. So she just jumped in the water to be like, okay, I'm not going to be, thank you, Nikki. I'm not going to be involved in this. While floating on a pool noodle and clutching a rope tied to the boat, the woman allegedly watched Donald untie her from the vessel and put it in gear. Later, she told cops it felt like Donald was leaving her out there to die. Hi, Henry. Good to see you. And that she believed he only decided to come back for her after spotting another boat out in the distance that appeared to be heading their way. When the victim climbed onto the boat, the defendant began repeatedly punching her on the right side of her head. He then stomped on her head with both feet numerous times. While getting punched and stomped on, the victim stated she went in and out of consciousness. Yeah, he was pissed. The woman told cops she pretended to be dead and tried to slow her breathing to save her own life. Once Donald stopped hitting her, he allegedly dragged her by her hair to the rear of the boat and into the water. The defendant then placed both hands around the victim's throat, attempting to strangle and drown her in the water. It was here when Donald allegedly told his wife he was going to effing kill her, as she gasped for air and tried to stay afloat. Donald left the woman in the water and tried leaving, but she refused to quit fighting for her life. The victim was able to interlock her feet around the ladder at the rear of the boat and hold on. The defendant dragged the victim behind the boat for a short time. The victim was fighting to stay above the water. She believes the defendant tried to leave her and didn't realize she was hanging on. Thinking he was in the clear, Donald allegedly stopped the boat while his wife pulled her battered body back on once again using the boat's back ladder. He eventually noticed she was behind him and shoved her overboard again. But what did she do? She didn't do anything, Billy. But remember, there's two sides to a story. Not that it was okay, but we weren't there. The victim saw a rope dangling from the rear of the boat and wrapped it around her right ankle just before the defendant started to drive away the second time. Donald's wife pulled herself back aboard a third time as he was pulling back in toward their dock and jumped off the boat before he could get a hold of her again. Donald's wife suffered a concussion and multiple contusions as a result of his alleged attacks. Donald was being held on Thursday without bond. So that is the start of our crime. And of course it's Florida, because there's something going on in Florida, I'm fairly certain. Fairly certain. All right, so this is kind of an unusual story. A little bit different. So this one is a thing. Simba, quick question for you. I know you're timing them out for a long time. Is this if they're children, boot them totally out. I mean, like, hide them. But if they're not children, just a timeout. Just a timeout is fine. And it doesn't have to be 24 hours unless they're over the top. Some people need power. Exactly. Okay, so this one. I got in my car and I smelled death. Family sues funeral home after receiving a box containing their son's brain. A Pennsylvania couple sued two funeral homes entrusted with the care of their son's remains after they said they received a box containing the deceased man's brain. Abby and Lawrence Butler's son, 56-year-old Timothy Garlington, died on November 15th, 2023. Garlington had been living in Georgia at the time of his death, so the Butlers used the services of Southern Cremations and Funerals in Marietta, as well as Nix and Nix Funeral Home in Philadelphia, to put their son to rest. According to a lawsuit filed in Philadelphia that was reviewed, the Butlers received a box from Nix and Nix that were told contained his personal effects and belongings. When Lawrence Butler opened a white box, there was another red box inside. While the Butlers were not able to open that box, they noticed that it began to smell and leak fluids. The lawsuit stated that inside the box was Garlington's brain. During a press conference at the Wapner-Newman Law Offices in Center City on Thursday, whose Atlanta-based firm, Stuart Miller Simmons Trial Attorneys, is representing the Butlers, stated that the unmarked white box that was included among Garlington's personal effects was not part of the inventory list the Butlers received. Hi, Barbie! I look into your eyes. I hope you looked into them like that. Lawrence Butler was emotional as he recalled what happened when he noticed something was wrong in the days following his son's death. Real crime. How boring is this? Can we get some input? Well, Jake, hold on. I gotta read it first before we can have any input. And yes, this is real crime going on. Thank you. He said, it was and still is in my heart that I got in my car and I smelled death. Hi, Charlotte. We just pray this doesn't ever happen to anyone else again. When asked by a reporter about how Garlington's brain became separated from the rest of his body, Stewart said that he spoke with other funeral homes about their procedures and came to the conclusion that there is no point where the brain is separated from the body in that fashion and shipped in that fashion. Hi, Samuel. When asked about the discovery of the brain inside the box, Stewart said that when the butlers went to Nix and Nix to retrieve their son's belongings from the funeral manager, the white box with the red box inside was on the manager's desk. Is Leah here? Leah? Oh, Leah, I love you and I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Abby Butler unsuccessfully tried to open the box not knowing what was inside. The Butlers took their son's belongings, including the box, back to their home, leaving the box in the car. Days later, Lawrence Butler started to notice that his vehicle started to smell and the box was leaking some sort of fluid. Stewart said that he took the box inside the home, and according to the lawsuit, Lawrence came into direct contact with his son's brain matter. The couple later learned from the Georgia funeral home that the box contained Garlington's brain and some mistake had been made. He said the box never should have been given to them. So we're going to talk about this in a minute. Hi, are you Mexican? Yes, I am half. Thank you. Cute, preppy lifestyle. Stewart said that the box containing the brain was returned to Nix and Nix. According to a reporter at the press conference, Nix and Nix said that an investigation was being conducted, but Stewart was not aware of one. Local NBC affiliate reported that the state board cleared Nix and Nix of wrongdoing, and the Philadelphia-based funeral home was not aware of what was in the box. It wasn't a compliment. I don't really give a shit. It's my heritage, so you can go fuck yourself if that's the case. Stewart stated that the Butlers have not received an apology from either funeral home, nor did they provide an explanation. The Nix and Nix funeral home did not receive an immediate, or did not give an immediate response. The Butlers are suing both funeral homes for negligence and intentional infliction of emotional distress. So here's what I think. Mexicans are dirty, so are you. But, you know, coming from a faceless account, you can say whatever you want because it's a free country, right? Freedom of speech. Here's what I wonder. I wonder if they were going to do something else with the brain and they accidentally sent it to the family. Because have you guys heard, oh, you're fine, Leah, I'm not mad. Much love and respect from Arizona. Good to see you, Matt. You know how they, well, it's not conspiracy, how different funeral homes are selling body parts? I know you've heard of that, right? I did a little snippet of it before. This chick was on the FBI website where, wait, what? Yes, Myers, yes. There's a black market for that stuff. You know what I mean? So kidneys, obviously, lungs, but arms, legs, hands, different body parts are sold behind the scenes. And I believe I don't want to say I know for sure, but I know some funeral homes have been caught doing that because, think about it. I personally, when I pass, I want to be cremated. But I started thinking about it and I'm like, do I want to be cremated? Because how would my family members know that that's actually me in the box? No one's going to know that, right? But also, when you have an actual burial, right? You go to the funeral service, they bring the casket out, you go to the plot of where you're going to be buried. They don't drop you in the hole right then. They don't. You get dropped in the hole after everyone leaves. So who's to say my body is actually in that box when it goes in the hole? How do we know? We don't know. We don't know unless we stand there and watch them throw all the dirt on. You won't want that. That's all silicone. What is all silicone? What are we talking about? Read the room. What are we doing now? What happened? Oh, geez. So, I don't know. I say, you know what? If I pass, just bury me in the backyard. We don't got to call anybody. Yes, wild man. Miss Rainey, question mark. That is me. Flashlights are dead people. So, Ramsey, I have a question for you. Why, just why? I love you so much, Miss Rainey. I know, and it's weird. It's weird because I'm an adult and you are a child. That is the problem. I could quite literally be your aunt. I am that old. Quite literally. It's weird. Please stop. Or I'm going to call your mom and tell her. That's a scary thought. It really is, Mike. I mean, think about it. You don't know. And not only that, you have no idea if your family members are being buried where they say they are, and let alone if it's the whole person. She can't be any older than 55. You are right. I am 53 and a half. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents on it. But I think the brain was being sent somewhere else, and it was accidentally sent to the family. I love Miss Rainey too. Just trolls. No, Barbie, he came around, it's a child. It's a child. And then he just said his mom is 29. I mean, that very well could be, but that would make him what, like 8 or 9, which I think he's probably at least 12, according to what I see in his profile. But anyway, people say there are 7 wonders of the world. Cremation, how do we know the entirety? Exactly, Rodney. We don't know. We don't know that. And not only that, they do say, which this is something that is true, and they do warn you that there's going to be remnants of the previous person that was cremated. That is also going to be in my box, in my cremation ashes, cremated ashes. So there's going to be little bits and pieces of a whole bunch of people that's going to your family. So I don't know. Would I rather have a Mexican neighbor or a black neighbor? I want both of them. In fact, they could be my roommates. I'm not choosing on who is my what? What got you on this topic? Well, John, I'm reading some crime stories, and the last crime article I just read, a family was accidentally sent a brain of their son who they had cremated. So there was a separate box from the cremated remains that was sent to the family, and it turned out it was their son's brain that was not part of the cremation process. So with that, it made me think, what were they doing with the brain? Are they selling the brain off? Are they using it for research purposes, which it doesn't sound by the article that they gave permission to do that. So that's what we're talking about. And then we got a little further off on other things, but you got to be something nefarious. Thank God my neighborhood is clean. You're the most beautiful woman in the world. Highly unlikely. Maybe a scientific. Well, exactly, Nikki. But if they're suing the funeral home, they didn't say that. They didn't say that, hey, they were using it for scientific purposes. It's just like, hey, we were sent his brain outside of his ashes. What? Why would this be? What would be the purpose? It was supposed to be part of his cremation, cremated ashes. So why is it separated? So to me, it seems like the funeral home is doing something nefarious outside of what they should be doing. That's just my opinion. But again, I don't know. I don't work there. I don't know anything about it. All right. All right, you're going to like this title. Are you ready? So we're moving on to the next crime article about organ donation and the donors not being dead. Oh, John, no, but I'm going to write that down because that's scary. John, I did not. Another thing I was saying, John, was how do we know our family members, hi William, are actually being buried in their entirety, right? Because there have been legs, arms, hands, feet, different body parts that are sold to the highest bidder, black market wise. Organ donors. You know what? My driver's license says I'm an organ donor, and I think I want to delete that. I think I don't want to do that. Just saying. And I don't know. Like, I'd love to help somebody else, but at the same time, there's been so many different rumors about what really happens to your organs when you are a donor that it makes me nervous. Harvesting. Oh, great. Thanks, Leah. Thanks. Okay, next article. Let's move on. Do not want that on your driver's license. Yeah, it's on my driver's license. I have a little heart at the bottom of my driver's license. It says I'm a donor. You want my eyes? Probably not. They're not that good. All right. High school science teacher stabbed her boyfriend in the neck with her earring after she tried to make him swallow it. Gordak, you're absolutely right. And that's why I'm on the fence about it. Did you hear the title? High school science teacher stabbed her boyfriend in the neck with her earring after she tried to make him swallow it. Chicks be crazy, we know. All right, we're taking it down close to Florida, but not quite there. Hi, Scooby. Yeah, that's not the right Scooby. I'm like, that's not the right Scooby. I don't know who that is, friends, but that's not Scooby. I already know that. That is not Scooby, Scoob. An Arkansas woman, maybe it's a different one though, calm down, we don't know yet. An Arkansas woman who works as a high school science teacher was accused of domestic violence against her boyfriend. Not Scooby, I know. I don't know who it is, so let's just let it ride. Let's just let it ride for a minute. According to an incident report obtained by local ABC and NBC, probably the child, a 43-year-old woman named Stephanie Woods. Oh my gosh. I went to school with a Stephanie Woods, but not, and that would be the same age. That's crazy. Was having an argument with her 37-year-old boyfriend on Monday that escalated. Police reportedly said that they responded to a call from a home in Arkansas at around 4:30 a.m. that morning and found the couple who had apparently been fighting about Woods' conversations about, guess what, friends? Other men. Hi, Nicholas. Hi, Beth. You are busy today. Okay. Keaton Massey, who is a police officer down in Arkansas, was the responding officer who wrote the incident report. He stated that Woods picked up an earring and stabbed her boyfriend in the neck on the right side below his ear. He reportedly told police that the stud of the earring broke off and got stuck in his neck. The boyfriend refused medical attention. He told police that he and Woods started arguing because she was talking about other dudes. Police said they arrested Woods at the scene on suspicion of domestic battery. She was booked into the Greene County Detention Center and posted a $5,000 bond that evening. Woods is currently listed as a science teacher at the Greene County Tech High School in Arkansas. And that is that. It's always jealousy. I'm Rainey's favorite. Why, hey, Jimmy, how are you? We here to learn. Yeah, we're learning about the bullshit that's happening in the world. Hey ho, how are you? Yeah, so that's how that ended. She looks like she'd be a little frazzled. Just saying. Oh, I am your sweetheart. It's always batshit crazy women. You know what? I gotta tell you a story real quick, talking about batshit crazy women. So there was this chick in this small town that I live in, and Fools and I met her and her boyfriend. She was young, like she could barely get in the bar, so she was barely 21. And he was significantly older, like my age older. But he liked her, she was cute, it was fine, whatever. And she apparently used to be a stripper in Oregon. You have to get out and come back in, Simba. Sometimes that happens. She was a stripper, and she was telling me, because, right, Fools and I try to meet new couples and friends and try to find people that are like us, and this one wasn't it, but we tried. Anyway, she was telling me about how all the women that she stripped with were all meth addicts. They were all drug users, and she was not about that life. Okay. Well, anyway, one thing led to another, and they ended up, she was really cute though. She was a beautiful young girl. I will give her that. Anyway, they end up moving back to Oregon for whatever reason. And all of a sudden, I want to say like 3-4 months maybe, find other couples. Oh, Leah, I wasn't even thinking of that. Carrie! You were a stripper of the year last month. Who was that, Kyle? So anyway, they moved back to Oregon. I don't want to, maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I can't remember how long. But the guy had Fools's, she cooks and she rows. Oh my gosh, so good to see you, my love. I hope you are well. Oh, I appreciate you very, very much. If you guys have not, I know there's a lot of people in here. Ma'am, Miss Chef, you are killing it with those subs over there. I see you. I see you. That over there is comedy. This woman does cosplay. Shh. Let me just tell you, you want to see YouTube in action? I'm telling you, Miss Chef, she does it. She does it. I'm so fun. It's true. And I see you. I see you over there. I remember when you had little tiny subs, and I could not understand why. And you're growing so quickly, and it's really awesome to see. So thank you for stopping by. So anyway, about 6 months later, Fools gets a text message. What's her at? Can someone drop the chef's at, please? She cooks and she roasts. I believe that's what it is, if I remember correctly. JFK, she's great. She is so great. JFK don't be an ass over there though. She won't stick, you won't be able to stay very long. But she's fantastic. Fantastic. So about 6 months later, Fools, chef roast and gag. Yes. I'll never forget the first gag that I came into. Fools gets a message from the dude, and he's like, look what this damn chick did. He bought this Mercedes. Not that it mattered, right? It was an older Mercedes. This chick took an axe to this man's car. An axe, not a baseball bat, and a physical axe to the trunk, to the doors, to the windows, to the hood. Like, she went crazy. Sounds like my ex-wife. What? Who does that? Why don't we just walk away? It's real simple. Just walk away. If it's not working out, just walk away. Hi, Abigail. How are you? Needless to say, the stripper girl, lady, she ended up using drugs. Not that that should be a deciding factor of what she decided to do, but she went crazy. She went crazy. Anyway, this guy was just stabbed in the neck by an earring. Holy moly. I know, right? Why an axe of all things. And she was a tiny thing. That girl maybe weighed 110 pounds. Drugs are bad. Hi, Fabian. Fabian, I was really worried. What time is it where you're at? Is it 7:30? Is it 7:30? Because I know you got a party at 8, and I was making sure I'm not messing that up. Lee and I already had it out. I was like, what time is it? I tried to ask Alexa, and Alexa was like, it depends on what part of Florida. And I was like, shit, leave me alone. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I got you. Yeah. Yeah, she weighed maybe 110 pounds soaking wet. And the fact that that girl could swing an axe like that and put the marks into a vehicle is insane to me. Drugs make you have superhuman strength, just so you know. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, because Fabian has a party to attend in 20 minutes. So that's the story of that one. All right, so this one is looks like it might be a little graphic, so just as a heads up. Trigger warning, this definitely has to do with unaliving and probably somewhat graphic details about it. So if that's gonna bother you, please scroll away, please. She's probably a chopper. She's small. All right. Dead body wrapped in duct tape, had multiple gunshot wounds, and was dragged by an SUV before it was dumped on a street corner. So this one is also kind of east. 2 Kentucky men have been indicted in connection with a homicide that occurred in October 2024, when a dead body wrapped in sheets was found in an intersection. Hi, Mike. Chadwick Fleming, who was 35, and Devon Collins, who was 26, have been indicted by a grand jury in connection with the homicide of 34-year-old Mitchell Jackson. The Louisville, I'm gonna say Louisville. I know that's not right, but it sounds better, in my opinion. Announced in a Facebook post on Wednesday. Jackson's body was found on October 20th, 2024 at the intersection of 18th Street and West Muhammad Ali Boulevard in Louisville. Police said at the time that the body was wrapped in duct tape and later confirmed that he died of gunshot wounds. Sounds like a hate crime. Well, it depends. I don't know. It could have been. I don't know. I don't see the deceased person, but I do see the 2 that were arrested. So, okay, I lost my place. Confirmed. According to an arrest citation, Fleming was arrested on October 25th. Oh my gosh. 5 days after Jackson's body was located. The investigation into Jackson's homicide reportedly revealed that his body had been bundled up with sheets and garbage bags and secured with zip ties and duct tape. Police said that the body had allegedly been tied to the bumper of an SUV and dragged through the street by Fleming. Well, it depends, John. It might not be a hate crime. What are we considering a hate crime? The color of their skin, their sexuality, their religion? Is that what we're considering a hate crime? Honestly? Because it could have been someone that owed them money. It could have been, someone screwing around with someone else's person. But we don't know that yet because we're reading together. At some point, police said the body became detached from the SUV and Fleming unsuccessfully tried to load it into the back of the vehicle. The arrest citation said that video surveillance cameras captured the moment that Fleming allegedly dumped Jackson's body at the intersection. Fleming was originally charged with tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse. He was booked into the Louisville Metropolitan Detention Center on a $100,000 bond. Following the indictment, Fleming is now also charged with murder. Collins was also indicted on charges of tampering with evidence and abuse of a corpse in connection with the same case. Details about his role or relationship to Fleming were not made publicly available. He was arrested without incident on Tuesday and booked into the Louisville Metropolitan Detention Center. Both suspects are scheduled to appear in court on July 28th, so we won't know any more details until then. Just saying. It very well could have been a hate crime. But like I said, I can only see the two that were arrested. I don't have any information about the deceased, unfortunately. So, could be domestic. Very well, Rodney. Could be skin color and what they did to the person. Yeah, well, dragging someone behind your vehicle is definitely personal. That's for sure. Amateurs, whatever happened to cinder blocks and thrown in a river pouring a concrete patio on short notice. Yeah, that's very tragic. I do want to say. Ugh. Anyway, we'll get rid of that one. How much time do we got left? 43. Okay, we got some time. Thank you, Gary. Google it. Google what? Their name? I already got out of it. Their name's not going to matter. I don't think. I like my violence, like my beer. Domestic. Did they get into a car accident? No, Abigail. It was very bad. Very bad. All right. So this one's kind of comical. A little comical. Let me take a quick little drink of my salud. Adios. Bye, Leonardo. You don't leave me. I'm right here. All right. Nothing short of evil. Woman stole $16 million intended for surrogate mothers to fund her aspiring rap career and her lavish lifestyle. Choose a protein shake. This is has vitamins in it. I'm pretty sure it's fine, but thank you. Rock hard abs. I'm never gonna have rock hard abs, and too much protein is not good for you. You should know that. A Texas judge ordered a woman to pay a $1 million default judgment after she failed to respond to a lawsuit accusing her of stealing millions in funds that were supposed to pay for health care for surrogate mothers and using them to fund her aspiring rap career and other business ventures. Dominique Side owned a company in Houston called Surrogacy Escrow Account Management, acronym being SEAM. Take a moment to appreciate. And her eyeliner. Oh, it's all right today. Some days it's just not okay. Intended parents paid into an escrow account run by Side for medical expenses incurred by surrogate mothers. But that all came crashing down in June of 2024, when SEAM suddenly ceased operations, leaving the intended parents and their surrogates with nothing but unanswered questions. The complaint alleges Side and other defendants stole more than $16 million from about 800 families throughout the country, though not all of them are part of the lawsuit. They are suing for breach of contract and fraud by non-disclosure, among other claims. Bank records show that Dominique transferred more than $2.2 million of the intended parents' escrows funds to bankroll her music career as Dom, a racy rap and R&B and music producer. The escrow funds were used to create Dom's music videos and social media content. The escrow funds to fund Dominique's lavish trips all over the world and to purchase designer clothing and luxury vehicles. Dominique even used the escrow funds to pay for her membership to the Soho House, which is an exclusive club for celebrities in the music industry. Dominique's social media accounts have been cluttered with videos of her showcasing her expensive lifestyle. She, of course, never told Dom's social media followers that everything she was and had was because she stole the money from innocent families that she had conned into trusting her. The dog is dreaming. She's barking in her sleep. Nearly 40 families filed the lawsuit shortly after Side's company shuttered. Some of her co-defendants have responded to the suit, but Side never did. On July 15th, the judge issued the summary judgment of more than $1 million. However, because some of the other defendants did respond to the lawsuit, the families will have to wait for the rest of the case to play out in court before receiving any of that money. Plaintiff attorney Marianne Roback told ABC that she was able to freeze some of Side's assets and real estate. Once all is said and done, Roback said she expected the families would receive $1.7 million. Once these judgments become final, we will be able to go after those assets, liquidate them, and help the families become whole again. While this has been a long process with more work to come, Roback said the summary judgment is a big victory for the families. We lost about $45,000 because our surrogate was only paid for 1 month. Bai and her partner did have their child. They delivered last year. Families were flabbergasted as to why someone would take advantage of vulnerable people looking to have children through surrogacy. Sad. Sad days. Leroy! How are you? So meanwhile, the FBI is investigating to see if criminal charges are warranted. Yeah, why do we gotta think about it? They set up an online form for potential victims to fill out. They said the investigation remains ongoing. BRB, Justin May the rapper. How are you? Something, you're absolutely right, something. Okay, we have 11 minutes. All right, well, here's another graphic one. Okay, this one's gonna have to be about a child. I'm gonna disappoint you all while I take a hit of my nicotine on the internet. Charlotte, hi Tiffany, how are you? Okay, this one has to do about a child. Salted, how are you? Salted, how did the female thing go? I need to know. You had ladies coming over, and then the next day you threw up or something. I'm just curious. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mohammed. I'm sorry. It's a bad habit. It's a really bad habit. I will tell you that of all of my habits, I will say that's probably the worst one I have. Sorry. Naps are good. Yes, we have a major problem. We always have a major problem. Okay, we're going to talk about children. So if this is going to bother you, please scroll away. But this does have to do with a child. So it went good. I scored. Okay. I did throw up when they left. Okay, at least she didn't throw up while they were there. Husband blamed wife being a new mother for leaving baby alone in the car so they could go drink inside a bar. Okay, maybe this isn't an unaliving, but still. All right. See, we didn't know. We haven't done this yet. You were gonna, Dana White. Hi. We haven't seen you in a long time. A husband and wife. Guess where, guys? Guess where? Chaos, do you know where? Do you know where? We're going to Florida. A husband and wife in Florida are accused of leaving their infant child inside an unlocked running car while they were inside a bar drinking. Myers, I don't have a pool. Sorry. Clarice Finnegan, who's 28, and Norman Finnegan, who's 60, my gosh, have both been charged with felony child neglect without great bodily harm, according to the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. The charges stemmed from an incident on Friday night. Big age gap. Huge age gap. Huge. Huge. Not that that should matter. Love does not care about numbers. As long as it is of age, that is all that matters. It was approximately 10 10:20 p.m. when the sheriff's office received a 911 call about a child left unattended in a vehicle outside the Smiles Bar in Palm Coast, some 60 miles south of Jacksonville. Arriving deputies reported they saw an infant in the back seat of a white Volkswagen Passat, improperly secured in a car seat. Video provided by the sheriff's office showed responding law enforcement officers suggesting smashing a car window to get inside until they realized the car was unlocked with the key in the ignition and the air conditioning on. The infant appeared to be in good health, was sleeping in the car seat, and did not appear to have any injuries to him. Less than 10 minutes after the deputies' arrival, a woman exited the bar and approached one of them, telling him the car was hers. She was later confirmed to be Clarice Finnegan. She was immediately handcuffed and questioned, and she told law enforcement that she was not at the bar alone and her husband was inside. Michael. A deputy went inside and, based on Clarice Finnegan's description, walked Norman Finnegan out and detained him. According to the affidavit, a bartender inside of Smiles told deputies both the husband and wife had been drinking, but then Clarice had not been there long and had only had a little bit to drink. Was Kate here? Hi, Kate! Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I just saw your name. Authorities then spoke with the witnesses who called them. The woman said she arrived at the bar at 10 p.m. and noticed the Volkswagen with its lights on and its engine running. About 15 minutes later, she saw a man exit the bar, look inside the vehicle, and then go back inside. Oh no. Both husband and wife then gave their accounts as to what happened. Clarice said she was watching the child at her home, but drove to the bar to get money from her husband so she could get necessities for her child at CVS. Stop. She said she was only at the bar for about 10 minutes and left the boy inside because, well, Smiles allowed smoking inside the establishment. Crime. Hi, Jeremiah. She added that she went outside to check on her kid and then returned to the bar where she asked her husband if she could take him home. She was then given a drink by the bartender, but only had a few sips. As her husband was about to pay the bar tab, she walked outside, where she was met by deputies and detained. Then came Norman's story. He had arrived at the bar at about 8:30 that Friday night so he could get away for a couple of hours, and he added that his baby gets fussy when he is not around or home, and that Clarice, is a new mother. Later, he was met by his wife, who asked for his assistance with their child. He maintained that in the short time she was at the bar, his wife walked out twice to check on the baby, although his explanations as to how long she was there were inconsistent. After the couple's arrests, Norman was called to take care of the child. A friend of Norman. The couple were both locked up in the Flagler County Detention Center. Norman was released the next morning on a $2,500 bond, while Clarice was released on her own recognizance. They were both arraigned on Tuesday. Okay, sorry, I don't have my glasses. Oh, me neither. The Florida Department of Children and Families is also investigating the case. So that is that. We have 4 minutes, and then we have to go, guys, because Fabian's doing a dance party. So we got 4 minutes to read one more. Yeah, $2,500 bond for leaving your child in a vehicle. No big deal. But Jeremiah, it shouldn't matter because the doors were unlocked, the keys were in the ignition, and the AC was on. So they were being good parents. I'm kidding. That was me being funny. All right, well, we're gonna read the McDonald's one. We'll do the McDonald's one. Dance party tonight at Fabian's. Yes, 3 minutes, so I have to hurry. I gotta hurry. This shit isn't funny. McDonald's employee stabbed bully manager 15 times with a long knife after being sent home early. New details have emerged in the case of 26-year-old McDonald's employee in Michigan who is facing a series of felonies after she allegedly killed her manager and friend, fatally stabbing the 39-year-old woman after the two got into an argument that ended with the victim sending her home early from work. Is that like a long gun? Probably. The defendant has been charged with 1 count each of first-degree murder, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent, and being a habitual offender in the slaying of Jennifer Harris. Muhammad appeared in court. By the way, her name is Afeni, last name Muhammad. Muhammad appeared in court for a probable cause hearing on Wednesday, where additional details about the fatal stabbing were revealed. According to a report from Detroit NBC, it got off to an interesting start with Muhammad telling the court that in addition to her legal name, she also goes by Risen Phoenix. That girl is on YouTube. What girl? When her attorney requested that she be referred to as a forensic center for evaluation of her competency and capability, Muhammad reportedly interjected, saying she personally objects to the referral. Despite the defendant's objection, the judge ordered the evaluation and scheduled a hearing for the case. It's a mental evaluation, pretty much. A subsequent investigation revealed that there had been a dispute between Muhammad and Harris, which resulted in the manager sending Muhammad home early. However, a short time later, Muhammad allegedly returned to the restaurant armed with a knife, entered through a back entrance with a hooded mask over her face, and proceeded to stab the victim multiple times. A customer who was at the drive-thru window during the stabbing was armed with a gun and fired a shot in the air in an attempt to stop the attack. The suspected assailant attempted to flee the scene, but the witness who fired the shot in the air gave chase and was able to detain the suspect until police arrived a short time later and took her into custody. The victim was rushed to a local hospital for treatment, but she succumbed to her wounds and was pronounced dead. Muhammad admitted that she had intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside of her vehicle. Mr. Manager was a mom. I was taking her hours. Oh, a-hole, you saw this already? Interesting. Authorities also said Muhammad had previously convicted in a separate stabbing 3 years ago, but was given a suspended sentence and 1 year of probation. Muhammad also indicated that she had problems at work in videos posted on her Instagram page. In a video posted on July 8th, she is seen wearing a McDonald's uniform while saying that she was sent home from work early that day and the previous day by the same person, being her manager. "I'm telling you, she's a bully," Muhammad said, apparently speaking about Harris. "This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother, a-hole, and has children doesn't mean she can come in this store disrespecting people, talking to people like everybody is beneath her. She has no respect, and it isn't funny at all." Muhammad claimed Harris accused her of always snapping at people, but Muhammad rejected. "I tell her no," she says in the video. "I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace." Ooh. Muhammad, this is a rough one, is being held on a $25 million bond. A July 30th hearing was removed from the docket after the mental evaluation was scheduled. $25 million. Do you know? Hold on. Idaho. Okay, so you guys know about the Idaho murders, right? And I gotta be quick because Fabian's doing a live and I passed the time. Brian Kohlberger you've got to be joking. Okay, so no, Grim, not in Boise. Not a dance party just yet. Okay, thank you, Leah. So Brian Kohlberger, He pled guilty to killing the 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho, which is where the University of Idaho is located. He was just sentenced. I'm sure you guys have seen it all over social media, wherever. This woman who killed her manager, I just want you to know, stabbed the manager, one lady, got a $25 million bond. Do you want to know what Brian's was? Brian Kohlberger, which doesn't matter because he's going to be in prison for life. His was $2 million. $2 million for killing 4 college students brutally. I would be curious to know, or if anyone does know, how do they go about setting bonds for certain crimes, right? I understand murder is going to have a higher set bond. I understand a domestic assault is going to be lower. A petty theft, you know what I'm saying. Why is one state doing a $25 million bond for this McDonald's chick, and the 4 kids that were killed here only $2 million? Interesting. Yeah, but $25 million? That's insane. $25 million. $25 million. Had to make a beer run. That's okay, Simba, we're about done. You're not banned. Okay, guys, Fabian's gonna do his thing, so I need to be done. I love you. You guys are great. Thank you for hanging out and for letting me talk about crime, because I haven't talked about crime in a long time. Okay. 99, I'm leaving. Dang it. The court is hoping that social media will pay the bills. I don't know. Fools is taking a nap, which means he's not going to sleep tonight. So he is not going to sleep tonight. He's on that night shift schedule. I should go wake him up. How many tats do you have? This many. That's how many. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. And especially the trolls. You make it push out just a little bit further, so thank you. All right, guys. I love you. I love you so much. And go see Fabian. Fabian is in the store. Oh, see? Yeah. Fabian's doing his live. So is he in the store or he's on live right now? He's in the store on live? It doesn't matter. I'm 5 minutes past my time. You are a biased, feminine woman. Absolutely. I'm whatever you want me to be, times 10. Just got off work. Oh, I know, 99. I'm sure Fools will go live later. I'm almost guaranteeing it because he doesn't know how to stay away. That's not a bad thing. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I love you. I gotta go. Yes. Okay, let me put it right here. Hold on, guys, before I do it. Replace. Lisa Ann. Oh, is Lisa Ann here? Where's Lisa Ann? Okay, that's Fabian. That's Fabian's channel. Fabian's gonna do a dance party. He's gonna have flashy lights and good music to dance to. Don't bring your sad music, guys. Please don't. Oh, that's right. Damn it. I was like, who's Lisa Ann? Leroy got me. Flattered, Leroy, flattered. Anyway, if you guys don't know Fabian, his @ is down there, or depending on what you're looking at, if it's the computer, it's that way. I remember Leroy. I remember now. I forgot, it's been so long. That's how much I remember. Anyway, Fabian's gonna do a dance party. We like to bring good vibes over there, and please bring good music, not sad, depressing stuff, because we have enough of that in real life. So anyway, I love you. I gotta go. Okay? Okay, I love you so much. Bye.